let's go to our next question, which comes to us from southeastern Michigan. I believe it's David Kimbrough.
Hi, legal team. David Kimbrough here from Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Mission Real Estate. And I, too, am asking for a friend. Just out of curiosity, what are we supposed to do when a seller will not complete the statutory seller disclosure forms? Asking for a friend.
Well, David, or David's friend, this isn't going to be a very emotionally satisfying answer because there's really not much that you can do here. You cannot force a seller to fill out the seller disclosure form, even in those situations where they're legally required to do so. Really, the buyer's only legal remedy here when they don't receive a form from the seller is that they can walk away from the sale at any time up until closing, and it's not going to be considered a breach of contract on that buyer's part.
Yeah, and of course, if that seller is aware of the consequences, which they ought to be, that's an important variable for them to consider because the transaction and the strength of the transaction moving forward is very important because of all of the different contingencies that need to be satisfied. And of course, one of the other questions that we get a lot in this vein is when the form is partially filled out. And that is another area where your seller needs to be aware that a partially filled out form, the courts have looked at this and they have determined that it would not be characterized as a completed seller's disclosure form underneath the act.
Right, yeah, the buyer could still walk away, and for some sellers, that's a pretty big deal.